high profile issues more in the delivery of private credit than in private credit itself per se. And so there's a lot of sorting through to go through, and actually that's a topic I'm probably writing about this week or next week to deep dive even more, just to try to set the context. It's important to remember that private credit is still a very small piece of the broad credit markets in general.
Carol, thank you so much for getting to us. Appreciate it. Ashley.
Okay, I do have us live. Guess there's been some streaming issues. Thanks for letting me know. I'll try to keep it live through the first trade. What we are looking at right now is a macro screen of the SPXX. We trade the SPXW. However, this is the chart that we use to trade the SPXW. We have a down market today, and we are going to use our smart money roadmap system to navigate today's market to profits. So I am looking at the macro structure and just to get an idea of where the supply and demand zones are existing in a down market. Okay, so what I'm going to do is revise I'm revising the initial smart money roadmap that we had. I'm taking a screenshot of the current market structure of the SPX on the 4-hour, and I'm going to bring up the market structure of the 5-minute. Gonna bring that in real close. And what it did by taking what happened when I took of the 2-hour, I think that was a 2-hour, right? Let's take a look. Yeah. So when I took a picture of the macro structure, I can now submit it with the micro structure of the 5-minute and get a better roadmap, a more accurate one. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I'm submitting it to ChatGPT for an updated roadmap. Give me just a second, I'll generate that.
This is not what streaming should feel like. We're thinking more like, now that's more like it. With Fidium Fiber Internet, it feels crisp, it feels clear, it feels like Fidium. Upgrade to Fidium Fiber, the internet you've always deserved, starting at only $30 a month. Offer available to residential customers only. Terms and conditions apply. See Fidium.com for details.
Before the end of the month, swing into your local Valvoline Instant Oil Change. The 15-minute drive-through oil change. And service your vehicle. All types welcome. Cars, trucks, tractors, and other farm equipment. Friendly professional techs with any oil change will check tires, lights, wipers, fluids, and your battery. Get to Valvoline Instant Oil Change today and get to the next job with peace of mind. Locations and coupons at VIOC.com.
The music you love is all right here on TuneIn, bringing you good vibes and the hottest hits. But are you ready to amp things up even more? Just upgrade to TuneIn Premium for all of our exclusive music channels, completely commercial-free, so you get more of today's hits. More country roads. And everything else. Hear it all here, commercial-free on TuneIn.
Listeners, unite. TuneIn brings together your music, news, sports, and more. Whether you are music obsessed,
Hey, this is Taylor Swift.
stay in the know with top news.
Okay.
Stay in the game with up-to-the-minute sports
You
coverage.
can understand how the Atlanta Braves feel about it. There are people who feel that this is taking
It's all right here on TuneIn. Just sit back and listen.
Markets, headlines, and breaking news 24 hours a day at Bloomberg.com, Bloomberg Television, and the Bloomberg
Okay, so I'm generating a new roadmap based on current price action.
Under pressure, oil is falling, so is the dollar as the conflict in the Middle East enters the fourth day. The Dow Jones Industrial Average down 856 points, a loss of nearly 2% at 48,034. S&P 500 down 1.5%, or about 109 points. We've got the Nasdaq now down 1.75%, a loss there of about 400 points at 22,359. The Bloomberg Dollar Spot Index 1206.60. The Dow being led lower today by shares of Capital, Williams, and Goldman Sachs. Just one of the 11 S&P 500 sectors is higher right now, barely. That is energy, led higher by Chevron and ExxonMobil. We're already starting to see the rise in oil hit the gas pump. AAA says the national average for a gallon of regular gas $3.11. That is up just a dime overnight. Brent crude at 83.84 the barrel. WTI crude 77.20 the barrel. Amazon says it's working on getting 3 facilities back up online in the Middle East after they were hit by drone attacks, and have to call out Best Buy, the best performer in the S&P 500 after profit last quarter topped estimates. That's your Bloomberg Business Flash.
Okay, so we're back live streaming. Okay, so what I'm doing at this point is printing a new roadmap to navigate the bearish trend that we're in. And I'm identifying liquidity pockets and clusters. I'm identifying targets. I'm identifying where the next supply and demand levels are. So give me just a second. What did I do? Just to let you know what I did was I looked at the 2-hour, which gives us a very big picture of the macro structure of the market. Took a screenshot of that. I went through the 60-minute and looked at it. There's some good data there, but the 2-hour was much better. And now we're gonna go back to our 5-minute for execution. And not too much data there. So we'll be operating right now off of the 2-hour, which gives us a big picture, and we're gonna zero in on the 5-minute. So
first trade window open. Only expansion trades allowed. Displacement is required.
So I'm gonna print that off, do a analysis of it, and I will be back in about, let's give it 15 minutes to make sure I get an accurate read.
lot left on the legislative calendar. I mean, but let's talk about this DHS shutdown, for example, because that's what's limiting a lot of, making people a little bit nervous to fly when they think they're going to have a 3-hour wait at the TSA lines. There really hasn't been much in the way of negotiations. You have seen some statements from some of the moderate members of both parties to say, look, maybe we should try and figure something out while the conflict with Iran is continuing. But, we haven't really seen any substantial negotiations over ICE tactics, if you will. Democrats still think that they have a playing hand. Republicans still think they have a playing hand. And so as a result, the shutdown continues. But there are other pieces of legislation. I just mentioned this housing bill before. This is a very bipartisan housing bill. It doesn't excites us at the Department of Intelligence. It's a lot of cutting regulatory red tape. But there is a provision in here that would ban corporations that have more than 350 single-family homes from purchasing new homes. That was one of President Trump's big wishes, and it passed an initial vote in the Senate last night, 84-6.
So Nora, I was flying this weekend, I tried to make an extra effort to be extra courteous to the TSA people because I knew they were working and they weren't getting paid.
Yes.
And not to it, the lines were perfect. Everything was moving perfect. Open door and SFO. So hats off to the TSA folks, still getting the job done while they're not getting paid.
Yeah, I mean, how are we anticipating this as we're going back, Nathan, to talk to you? I wanted to know, what do you think about how this will develop? I mean, there's a lot of things going on in Washington. There's a lot of things at top of mind, but we do know that the geopolitics remain front and center right now. But what do you think in terms of the outlook for DHS and as we think about budget funding for the government more broadly?
So I think the DHS shutdown will get resolved sometime in the next few weeks. I don't think it's really going to be all that much of a market mover. And I think it's going to be a similar story to what happened in 2018. The TSA sick out actually increased to about 10%. That's when we started seeing long lines at the airports, and that's when the American populace said to Congress, get your job done. I think a similar story is going to play out here, so think about it in the next 1 to 2 weeks. But there is a window for when the legislative angle begins to close, because, like I said, we have this election back in November, and, for every day that you spend here in Washington, somebody's campaigning against you back home, and so the folks in the House of Representatives and 1/3 of the Senate, they don't want to be here. Today is the first primary day. Texas and North Carolina start today, and so the election mindset is really going to quickly shape Congress's focus, if you will. And so we have probably, I'd say, about another month or two to get substantial legislation done. Everything else is probably going to get pushed until after the midterm elections. And to your question about the budget, I don't anticipate we'll see any type of budget resolution or agreement anytime soon, which suggests come September 30th, you're going to see another kick of the can until after the midterms.
All right, Nathan, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Nathan Dean, Senior U.S. Policy Analyst for Bloomberg Intelligence. He's based down there in D.C. It's his job to figure out what's going on Capitol Hill. With our national news.
Paul, Nora, thank you very much. President Trump posted on social media that the U.S. has unlimited mid to upper tier weaponry, as he said the war with Iran could last longer than 4 to 5 weeks. Bloomberg Economics Defense lead Becca Wasser is tracking the conflict from Washington.
They have warned that more casualties are likely, not only civilian casualties, but casualties of military service members. And at the end of the day, we can cost the number of airplanes that have been shot down in friendly fire incidents. We can cost the number of missiles. But the one thing that we can't actually put a price tag on is the blood and treasure lost from our service members.
That's Bloomberg Economics Defense lead Becca Wasser. Bill and Hillary Clinton
Okay, let's see. We're gonna go to the 5-minute time frame and start marking off our chart. Well, I just want to check one more source, barchart.com.
Meanwhile, former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton denied any connection to the convicted sex offender.
And I have answered for many hours now that I had no relationship because I never met the guy to my best recollection.
Polls open today.
Trying to turn the news off. Time to get in the zone.
Voters cast ballots in Arkansas, North Carolina.
Like 2 cellos for trading.
Majority Leader John Cornyn in November.
There we go. Okay, barchart.com, here we come. Barchart.com. SPX. Gonna do a little search there. looking for key turning points. I checked it earlier today. I was wondering if they've been updated or changed. And it has not. Okay, so we're wondering how low price will go. Okay, so here's a probability. I'm starting to see reversal wicks. There is a support level at 6718. So 6718, that is derived from barcharts.com. Really good resource. Gonna concentrate on the downside right now. There is a demand, we're at the demand level of 6740 to 6755. There's a liquidity pocket there at 6740. Okay, so that's what we're seeing right now is a sweep of that level. And so after this sweep of this level, what we're subject to see is a compression at 6780 through 6825. So 6750, 6740, bearish pin at 6760, 6790, or a reclaim. So what we're looking for right here is for sweep completion, which means they've taken all of the liquidity at this level. Liquidity means they're taking they're getting the demand met. Okay, which means they're buying. They're going to start buying at this level. It's a deep discount. All right, so you can see how price has gone down. This is an optimal place for the institutions to buy. So what does that mean? That means that we're looking at a put entry right here. I'm going to take a look at that. So this is how we make money in a down market. We identify supply and demand. So this is a good lesson. Like this strategy that we're using based off of market structure and the ranges of price action can still produce profits in a down market. So since I know that we are in a supply zone 6743, and there's a support level at 6718, I'm looking at placing my put trade or my put strike below 6718. And I'm gonna look at the delta on that. And the deltas are pretty high on the put side, meaning that they're paying well. And I'm looking at, you know, a delta of, say, 29 for the 6705. The 6705 delta. And now I'm gonna look at my call side. Gonna check out some deltas there. Well, actually, before I even look at the delta on the call side, The VWAP is so low, it's starting to curl. So relative strength index is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the volume relative strength index. Average range right now is pretty high, 1987. So that's still some pretty big candles taking up a lot of space. So I won't enter the trade just yet. I'll let the ATR kind of die down. But at the same time, I'm looking at call strike prices. I want a safe distance. Well, actually, let's identify, let's see, VWAP resistance, 6825, 6835. So let's start there and work our way back. $6805 is midpoint, 6845 is high. Again, I'm calculating the calls right now. 6835 is the start of the supply zone at the top, but we are in a bear, so I can come a little tighter on the calls because market is down. VWAP 6820. Compression is at 6780 through 6825. But compression doesn't start until quarter two. So we're in quarter one liquidity sweep right now. $6845 is important. The tough part is the call placement. So I have the midpoint magnet at 6805. And so I'm gonna look at 6805. I'm gonna look at the other side of that. It's an 18 delta at 6805. I think that's good. Okay, so 6805. And then the 6810 for the call placement. And that does my iron condor. And the premium is pretty good on that. I'm gonna review my order. And we're looking for a bullish candle on the 5-minute chart. Right now we're just getting wicks at the bottom. So we're looking for a bullish candle. And my strikes are 6705 put, sell, and buy the 6700 put. And I'm selling the 6805 call and buying the 6810 call. And premium's pretty good on that. So today's goal think this is subject to be the best trade of the day. And I am looking to take 25% on this trade. Let's see, 10 contracts. And I just wanted to get to the bottom. Let's look at our studies here. We got the volume going down. Got RSI down. However, the ATR is still pretty high. Average true range of the candles. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. So I have my strikes all loaded. I've got my contracts loaded, and I am just waiting to fire. Today's target goal is 25%. 25% profit, that is. So just waiting to enter. Looking for confirmation that the price will stabilize right here. We are in a supply, in a demand zone right now. We're at the bottom end of the demand zone at 6940. This is the liquidity pocket. VWAP is obviously above, but bending down at the moment. RSI is in a state of oversoldness. Looks like it's starting to level out. The range of the candles it's still pretty high. If you look down at the average true range, it's at 2188. We want to see that number come down a little bit. Just waiting for confirmation that price isn't going to go any lower. However, it could go to 6718 and bounce back up, I believe. However, we want stronger confirmation than what we have right now in theory. It's like, show me. Show me that you're ready for me to make my entry. So again, I have my play loaded. I've got the contracts loaded. I've got my strike prices loaded. Strike price at 6805 on the put side. That's the short put. Sorry, that's not the put side. That's my call side. So on my put side, my strike price is 6705. I'm selling that one and I'm buying the 6700. And then on the call side, I'm at 6805 and I'm buying the 6810. Yeah, true test of patience, right? But I want to enter precisely at the right time. So I'm waiting and waiting. I actually think I'm going to switch us to a 1 minute. And I'm going to go daily. Yeah, that didn't make matters any better. Yeah, I'm trying to get a good perspective here. That didn't help. Let's try weekly. Okay, that one's not bad. Okay, go ahead and make the entry now. My trade didn't go through. Okay, let's try that again. 6705. Okay, so 6705 put, 6700 put. Now I'm going to go to the calls. And I'm looking at going into the 6-8 zone for the calls. I'm looking at what, how high I want to go on the calls. Right now, we're going to take out the resistance levels. Take a look at those, 6825. Compression at 6780. Six 6750. 6760, 6790. A bearish pin at 6790. So we'll go 6805. Get a 14 delta at 6805. Okay, that'll be nice. So I'm gonna sell the 6805 call and buy the 6810 call. And that's a good trade. Okay. And we're gonna set our contracts. Okay, we're still we still haven't received confirmation yet. I thought we were gonna get it, but we don't have it, so we're gonna sit here. I'm gonna write these strike prices down. I really like it. I like the play. So I'm gonna write down sell, put, 6905, buy, put, at 6705, sorry. And then 6700, buy the, so sell a put at 6705, buy a put at 6700. And I am going to go to the call side now. And I am going to buy the 6805. Because that is a range that will likely compress. So that means price will stay in this range. 6805 and 6810 will be the buy. Okay, so there is the first play of the day. Sell the put at 6705, buy the put at 6700, call at 6805, sell 6805, and then buy the 6810. We're just waiting for confirmation. Price is still in the supply zone that has been identified. It's doing a deeper zone. It's a demand zone at 6740 through 6755. That is what's underway right now. We're waiting for that to complete before we enter the trade. And then we'll see a reversal towards the VWAP line. Today's hard sell is 25% take profits. 25% take profit. I'm going to set the limit sell at 25%. I'll do the math on that in just a moment. I've got about 105 point spread, so we're going pretty wide. What we do is we divide that by 2. We can say, 52.5. We'll just round. Okay, we're going to round that to 52. And that would be 50%. Then we divide that by 2 to get to our 25%. Okay, so let's see if this support level holds up. We're at 67.18. This should be a support level that I extracted from bearchart.com. We're going to put it to the test and see what happens at this level. See if we see a reversal, or will it continue to go down. If it continues to go down, then we need to revise our roadmap and come up with a new roadmap. However, it does look like it's going to stabilize at 67.18. Okay, it went deeper. Okay, we should start seeing, I'm starting to see the reversal patterns identified as pin bars. We're seeing the first hammer, and this could be our signal for reversal. Volume bars are low. RSI is still an oversold. The average true range, the ATR, is still relatively high. So the indicators are not suggesting that we enter just yet. It's a true waiting game. Yep, this is called being careful. And part of being careful is being patient. So, better way of looking at this, new perspective, new strategy, sorta, is to play it from the top. Play it from the top down. Let's take a look at that. Oh, wow. Oh, great.
Q2 continuation or reversal decision trap. Midday chop zone. Range behavior likely. Capital protection phase. Smart money psychology. Let them think price is stable. We accumulate quietly.
All right, the previous trade failed. Just in time for what looks like the reversal candles are starting to appear. So that's good news. So let's see what we have here. Okay, so that is a true reversal candle. And Let me see where our exit zone is going to be. I think when we get to maybe 6832. Let's work on the stop limit automation. So I'm already in the profit zone. Already at 280. I think this trade, well, the goal is 500 on this trade. Pretty close. So I'm looking to close this trade pretty soon. It does appear that my exit number is 6732, which we have hit, but it's not in the stable zone. So I want it to stabilize, and then I will exit this trade. Gonna switch time frames. Well, I'm holding it, trying to time my exit precisely with as much profit as I can get. The goal is 500 on this, and I'm seeing like 350. I've seen up as high as 600. However, it didn't stay there very long, else I would have exited. Looks like we are getting some compression at this level, which is good for me. We're starting to see higher highs as we approach the VWAP line. We're not quite there yet, but I am in the profit zone, and I am just trying to time my exit. I'm not going to be greedy today. Again, the market is down, so I'm just keeping that in mind and taking what I can get. So. Right, I will draw us a new box though. Well, we're getting some compression right here, which is not a bad thing. My exit number is 6732. We're at 6730 and compressing. I've got the VWAP magnet overhead at 6749. We will see some sort of test at the magnetic VWAP line. So I just want you to see how that works. Price will go towards that line. That is the value line. That is, they've sold off into profits, and now they're going to attempt to buy at a discount. We should see price continue to gravitate up towards the VWAP at 6749, at which point I should be out of the trade by then. With my profit goal of $500 on the first trade of the day. I've been in it, about 15 minutes now. So that's not too bad. And again, the target is, I should just set up the automation so it automatically fires. Let me take a look at that while price is bouncing around here. I'm gonna go ahead and set my limit price at 145. That should get me 25%. It's automated. It should just get the job done without me needing to manage the trade too close. There we go. Limit price has been set for 25%, and that's what you do when you're busy and you see an A+ setup. You want to make a play. You set your limit price, and you can walk away from the trade, and it will manage itself at that point. So with that being said, I'm going to sign off until 11:30 today. If you are available and live streaming, just shoot me a text and I will start the stream. Otherwise, I'll be quiet for the rest of the day on the streams. I will be looking for one more A+ setup at approximately 11:30. So if you are available, shoot me a text and I'll start the live stream. Otherwise, I hope you enjoy today's broadcast. Sorry that it didn't live stream the entire session. Thank you for notifying me that it wasn't streaming live. That was important to know. I appreciate it. And if it should do that again, please let me know. The intention is to always start our pre-market analysis at 5:30. Tomorrow I will be getting scar tissue removal surgery. I have to be at the hospital at 5 a.m. Should be done by 9 and at least get one A+ setup in. So we'll see, but back for sure Thursday. So I'll stay in touch in the chat and have a happy and prosperous rest of your day.